Let's all go to the lobby. Let's all go to the lobby. Let's all go to the lobby to get ourselves a treat. Delicious things to eat. The popcorn can't be beat. The sparkling drinks are just dandy. The chocolate bars and the candy. So let's all go to the lobby to get ourselves a treat. So let's all go to the lobby to get ourselves a treat.
Can you please stop bothering my kid?
Sorry.
Arthur, I have some bad news for you. This is the last time we'll be meeting.
You don't listen, do you? You just ask the same questions every week. How's your job? Are you having any negative thoughts? All I have are negative thoughts.
And finally, in a world where everyone thinks they can do my job, check out this guy.
When I was a little boy and told people I was going to be a comedian, everyone laughed at me. Well, no one's laughing now.
You can say that again, pal.
It's so awful, isn't it?
For my whole life, I didn't know if I even really existed. But I do. And people are starting to notice.
You think this is funny? Is this a joke to you?
Murray, one small thing.
Yeah.
When you bring me out, can you introduce me as Joker? Send in the clowns.
Talk. Talk fast.
You first.
My name is Sarah Connor. August 29, 1997. It was supposed to be Judgment Day. But I changed the future. Saved 3 billion lives. Enough of a resume for you?
No. You may have changed the future, but you didn't change our fate. I know you're scared, but I'm here to protect you.
Never seen one like you before. Almost human.
I am human, just enhanced. Why do you care what happens to her?
Because I was her.
I can see you're very upset. I'm going to help you protect the girl.
Nobody else is gonna die because of me! If you don't make it, everybody dies!
Expect a big ping, brother. The whole body's a weapon. Sorry.
When this is all over, I am going to kill you.
I understand.
I'll be back.
Hello one, hello all. Welcome to this August 30th through September 1st edition of Show Business. I hate it when the months change over. I am CP.
And I am Lindsey. Hello and welcome.
And I'm Jaime and Fuego from the Horror Show and in Fuego-tainment. Que paso, peeps?
Oh yeah, no, my 2 cents to nonsense and Twitter at Lindsey Pank, all that good stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. So if you're watching on the YouTube, the YouTube channel is in yellow font to our lower screen right, and Twitter handles are upper screen right of our respective boxes in case you want to find us. And links to YouTube channels should be down below if I did my work right. I'm not too.
Big gift there.
I'm not very proud of either. Chat's popping off. What's up, Tina? What's up, Tim? What's up, Dale? What's up, Ryan? Fuego, that's you. What's up, Travis? Cecil, what's up, Cecil? Believe in the hype. Manhammer, AR-15. Dale. Okay. We're getting repeats. All right, we're all caught up. So,
what's up, White Too?
Nothing happened this week.
Nobody even went to the movies, really,
Yeah.
except for me, I guess.
I saw 2 movies. They were just movies I'd already seen.
Yeah, Don't Let Go was the movie this weekend, and it came in 13th place.
Ouch. Which is sad because it's actually pretty damn good. I liked it a lot. It loses some of the logic at times, doesn't explain itself very well, but really good performances and, decently written. It's from the guy who wrote and directed Mean Creek, so he hadn't done a feature in a while, but I was impressed with it, and I'm kind of bummed out nobody went to see it because it's pretty good, especially being Blumhouse. But
yeah, right?
Yikes.
Yeah, made a couple mil, a little over. So.
Well, I mean, that's the Blumhouse model, right? You crank out 50 films a year that each cost $1 million to make, and some of them will make $10 quadrillion, and some of them will make $1 million. You know, it's quantity in addition to quality. It's
Blumhouse,
or maybe quantity over quality.
Blumhouse is to the 2010s as Canon was to the early 80s.
Oh, that is unfair, sir.
Oh, it's not. It's not unfair at all.
Oh, that is so. Canon made the worst movies just ever, and a lot. Yeah. Blumhouse has made some. They've made some bad ones, but they've made some good ones too.
I was gonna say Canon is in the makers of my camera, Canon.
No, Canon as in the makers of some of the cheesiest. I tripped on a shoelace. Somehow a barrel nearby explodes. Those kind of 80s action movies.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they made Masters of the Universe.
They did. Superman 4. Delta
I have
Force.
A soft spot for Masters of the Universe. Okay.
Dude, Over the Top.
Movie, great.
Yeah, they dumped $20 million into Over the Top. So
that was the arm wrestling movie with
Stallone,
right?
Yeah. So they just got silly. Lindsey, I'm gonna murder your damn Skype thing. You keep getting bigger and smaller. It's not you. It's you.
Oh, okay. I was like,
it's not you. It's me.
Yeah.
It's not you. It's
and
me.
there he goes big again. Hey,
I'm just big Skyping it, bro. I'm sorry. What can I say? Like
big Skyping, stream and flick.
There you go. Lindsey's just Lindsey's now an empty crowd. Look at that. Just an empty crowd watching
That's
Big
a
again.
metaphor of my soul right there. I'll take it.
Yeah.
They seem really happy to be watching him, though.
I'm wondering if if I go, yeah, you're all fucked up. Now you're better. That's okay. So
That's also our one F word, so careful there, sir.
Oh, damn it. Yeah, all right. So there's our one.
I thought that PG-13 you can use up to 3 as long as it's not in the context of sex.
You are correct on that, actually, yes.
Is
Or is
that
it
what
3
we're
or is
going
it 2?
Well, I thought 3, or I don't know if it's a historical drama of some sort. You can show boobs, you can drop more than 3 F-bombs. It'll still
That's
be
true.
PG-13.
So with
PG-13, Titanic, you see both her boobs. Like, well, come on, guys, what are these double
Well,
standards
that
here?
was artistic. That wasn't during sex.
That's true. That's true.
With this discussion, you can tell it was a juggernaut of a weekend because I haven't even gotten to the numbers yet. Number one,
bitch.
Angel Has Fallen stayed in first with that strong 12 million. Good Boys in second with 10 million, which, by the way, last weekend it was at 11.
Yeah,
so not that big a drop off. Lion King in third with 7 million. Hobbs and Shaw fourth with 6 million. Ready or Not in fifth with 6 million.
Actually
Overcomer
moving up a spot.
Yeah, right. That's dope.
Overcomer
It's in the top 5 now.
So movies.
And I stand corrected. I thought Spider-Man Far From Home with the extended cut being thrown into the theaters was going to bring more people out, but once again, nobody went to the movies this
To be fair, it made 155.6% more this weekend than it did last weekend.
True.
That just wasn't enough to get it above 8th place.
Sure, Sony and Marvel were both mutually disappointed, but whatever.
People were dejected. They were just like, "Oh, well, if this isn't going to be Marvel anymore, I'm not going to put any money into it because."
Yeah, that's the last hurrah, basically, in theaters for Spider-Man Marvel.
Right.
So.
So did you want to talk about Ready or Not at all and talk to the other 5 people that have seen it for a minute, or you want to get into the trailers? Like what did
you mean Don't Let Go, or did you mean Ready or Not?
What did I say? I said Ready or Not.
Said Ready or
I
Not,
meant
but, I meant
Don't Let Go.
Yeah, I mean, just to double down on what I said and the fact that it's very strong performance-wise. I guess it's a British actor who was originally from somewhere in Africa. I think I'm totally not quoting that properly, probably. But yeah, his performance was. I mean, he does an American accent very convincingly. He's this cop who basically his brother is kind of an F up. And, drugs, alcohol, drug dealing, like coke and craziness like that. And it looks like he, after going clean for a while, is getting back into some old habits. And this happens at the beginning of the film, and it's the whole crux of everything. But yeah, they, in a botched drug deal, get murdered. And then he starts getting phone calls from his niece, who is actually the main star from A Wrinkle in Time. I forget the name of the actress, unfortunately. But nonetheless, she's actually terrific in it. And their interplay and their dynamic, especially, even though they don't really have a lot of scenes together, just their back and forth is very compelling. And even though there are some plot holes, it is a time travel movie with like a frequency type vibe to it. I still was very compelled, and it's very R-rated. It's grisly with a lot of its subject matter. It doesn't stray away from that or try to sugarcoat it or anything. And yeah, I mean, logic aside, I actually really enjoyed it. And once again, I'm sad more people didn't go see it.
I'm glad to hear that there's like you compared it to Frequency, because you were talking about it in the first 2 minutes. I was like, this is just about every urban movie that I get suggested, and I don't know, stereotypically, racistly so, whatever, but finally this twist is refreshing. I mean, how many times? You know what? Dope was fun. Let me stop. Let me stop before
I was gonna say I like Dope. I liked
Dope was
Sorry
fun.
to Bother You.
Sorry to Bother You was weird.
Yeah.
Black
I loved
Klansman's
Sorry to
great.
Bother You. Black Klansman's very good.
See,
yeah.
Black Klansman was good, but so Spike Lee, it was incredible. But I would
very preachy at the end, like at the very end. It out of the narrative and just went to the video footage and stuff. It got very
It's
preachy.
still really good though, like really
yeah.
efficient. It's not. It wasn't Thug. What was it called? Thug.
The Hate You Give. Yeah.
Oh,
Well, and there was the one that
man.
Catherine Bigelow did, the Detroit movie, right? That
Yeah.
I like
most of
Detroit.
Most of my black friends were just like, "Ooh, that one wasn't quite what I was expecting." I'm
Really?
like, well, it's obviously a horrible subject matter, for God's sake.
Yeah.
I mean, Will Poulter kid who was originally going to be Pennywise, like, he's a creepy little bastard, I tell you.
And, I'll say this: as much as I liked Black Klansman, and I loved Black Klansman, you could easily make an argument that Black Klansman is just straight up propaganda. like there's that scene where, like, what's his face from the Dr. Dre movie is just preaching to a huge audience, and like they're cutting to like images of the audience members and stuff like that. That's not a big speech. That's just talking right to the audience, to the people watching this movie. And then if you actually read up on the dude, I mean, I'm not gonna say he was a bad dude, but he wasn't like a great dude, and they did really misrepresent a lot of things in the movie.
No, I disagree with you, Lindsey. I think that was done as parallels, because I think that scene was either before, after, or even intertwined with the Klansmen talking, and it was. The message I got from that was,
that did happen at the same time.
It all depends on, like,
Well,
one
there was the
person
two
thinks
extremes, and then our main
Right.
protagonist in the movie resides somewhere in between.
Right,
Because
right.
he's
That's
actually trying to bridge the gap and work with the white people and have that harmony sort of thing going down. So I don't know. I
Yeah.
actually, it's Spike Lee's most accessible movie in like God knows how long. So.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a good movie. I'm just like being honest for the sake of it's we talk about like movies being too this or too that, or diluting the truth, but Black Klansman's a movie that people love, and it does dilute the truth a bit. Like
most biopics definitely alter their facts. I know they pushed
See
it
Lords
up
of
a few
Chaos.
years from when it actually transpired. I still like Lords of Chaos.
Lords of Chaos is awesome. I love that movie.
I was talking with my girlfriend about that though, because she's really into mayhem and that whole black metal movement from the 90s and stuff, and she's
really?
like, yeah, just go watch the it's the documentary. It's something Until the Light.
Night something. Oh yeah, the other thing. Yeah, Until the Light Comes or something. Yeah.
Until the Light.
Yeah, Emily. I can't. If I start watching a movie without Emily, usually she won't stick. Until the Light Takes Us. That's right. Which is on YouTube. Which is, I don't know if that's illegal of me to advertise that, but it's out there. Well, I meant for the sake of the producers.
Yeah.
So normally, if she drops in on a movie mid-movie, she won't she'll do something on the phone or the laptop, whatever. And she started. She was about 5 minutes into the movie when I was watching it, and she put her phone down and she was just captivated by it. And she was, I'm like, you know what? For a movie to win Emily over, because this is a girl that didn't like Die Hard.
Oh wow!
Yeah,
wow.
Yeah. So
I mean, isn't that like your favorite movie? How are you with it? I am okay.
Well, it's not my favorite, but it just it stings a little bit when she's talking about how foolish the police officers are, and I'm like, forget the police officers. Alan Rickman's incredible, and you got John McClane just doing what? What do you mean the policeman? Who cares?
Also, come on, just look at police in America these days. They're not. Yeah. They make mistakes.
Yeah. It's my father's favorite Christmas movie of all time. He watches it religiously every Christmas. Now I've got a machine gun. Ho, ho, ho. My dad loves that. And he's like super Christian guy, but he loves that movie. So what do you
my family was the same way. Die Hard was in our Christmas rotation, along with like the Rankin Bass cartoons and stuff like that.
Yeah, Die Hard, Home Alone, and Christmas Vacation were like the constant ones. But
long story short, so she watched the whole thing with me, and then next thing you know, we were watching everything we could about it, because obviously, anybody with common sense knows they stretched elements of that story. So
what you talking
about? Right?
Yeah,
come on.
yeah. I liked it more than The Dirt. I liked it more than Bohemian Rhapsody.
I hate Dirt. I don't like Motley Crue. So.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, in the chat we did have a question about Midsommar's director's cut.
Okay.
Which you have seen, right?
Yeah. No, I sorry to like hard cut, but we're that I did want to talk about
we're
that.
Just
and
kinda,
that comment's getting further and further back.
So listen, the summer's over. I don't know if you're looking at the numbers. It's over. It's over. This is the dry week. This is the calm before the storm. This is kind of a a spitball episode. So, you know, you got
Tweet.
questions. Yeah, if you got something funky to talk about, go ahead, throw it in the chat. But we do have
the
other things.
27-year sleeping giant that is in chapter 2 coming. I'm seeing it tomorrow night. How about you guys?
See,
Tomorrow night?
yeah, press was yesterday over here.
Press in the IMAX at least tomorrow night for us here
Press
in Phoenix.
was yesterday here. I don't know why that was.
Sunday?
Yeah.
Weird. Is there an embargo on it before release?
The embargo lifts tomorrow, so people are allowed to do social media responses about it, but no like full reviews are allowed to be posted until I think it's tomorrow at 7 Pacific. Maybe I want to say. So.
Cool.
That might be why press was on Sunday over here. To get their, you know, whatever.
I mean, I'm excited. Yeah, I'm super excited. I can't wait. Like it's.
I had plans on going Tuesday, but found out the hard way that it's not Tuesday. But you know, I digest. Midsommar, Lindsey.
Yeah,
go ahead.
It was fun to see it in theaters once again, and I kind of walked out of it the first time being like, so there's like a weird like colonialism like underscore of everything, but like not really like the main theme, but it's like a sub theme, and like there's things in the director's cut that kind of expanded upon that, so that was kind of cool. And it's very long, I'll say that. yeah, like if Midsommar felt long to you, this will feel even longer. I definitely felt the length on this one, partially because one of the scenes that got deleted from the original that I feel like should have stayed deleted was very long, and it was about halfway through the movie. And if you've seen the movie, you know there's an element of like, you know, a relationship dying a slow death in it, and it's about midway through the movie. And you're like, oh, so the relationship is over now. There's no way that these two will recover from this. They're like, it is over. They're definitive. It is. Oh, the next scene, they're just still together again. Oh, that's okay. Odd. But so that was a little bit jarring. But other than that, like a lot of the new content did kind of expand upon the themes a little bit. Did kind of add like an extra little spookiness here and there. It's worth checking out. It just again, you'll feel that length.
Yeah,
but Ari
there's
Aster
something
is
added with a kid, right? I've heard that it shows the cult is a little more sinister without like kind of spoiling things, maybe.
Yeah, I don't want to give away anything too specific, but there's like a few minor characters are bumped up from minor to like, you know, featured. And there is like I think there's 1 or 2 characters who aren't in the original cut at all, who do have fairly significant scenes in this new one, and they're interesting. But then there's other scenes where like there's something happening in the background, and maybe I don't think this is an original cut, and there's people just moving chairs in the foreground. But it's like it's kind of mesmerizing because they're moving these chairs in this circle, and as this thing, whatever is going on in that man's mind, I don't fully know, but I do really like Ari Aster's style, and it's
style visually. I like the story very much here, but that's
I completely agree. Like, and as I was getting close to the big finale in Midsommar with the director's cut, I was like, oh yeah, it's just kind of on autopilot now. You kind of know everything that's going to happen from this point forward. I remember this moment. So I mean that is a little disappointing, especially because like what is it? Hereditary did have that big gut punch at the end of, oh god, it's all real. Like in the last 5 minutes, which kind of
did a few things that I was not expecting, and everything in Midsommar I felt was very deliberately telegraphed. It was like a conscientious decision on his part with the foreshadowing for whatever reason. So
yeah. Oh, and also just like not even things that were like cut from the original, and I just see now, just seeing the movie a second time, there's all kinds of little things like there's the girl who's the main character, Florence Pugh, and she and her boyfriend, the relationship is ending, and the guy who's bringing them to this Swedish thing, like he's got a bit of a thing going on for Florence. You know, he's got like a little crush on her. You know, I picked up on that the first time, but what I missed was that his brother Ingmar's friends, I completely forgot. He had a thing because he brought the boy and the girl. He had a thing for that girl. So I'm like, are you supposed to bring people you're attracted to? Is it supposed to be like the love or the community or something? There's just so many little details.
Because he even says at one point, he's like, yeah, we used to date, and she's like, we went on like 1 date.
And I didn't even know it was a date.
Yeah.
So these are all Long Island theaters.
Okay.
For Midsommar showings. Not playing there, not playing there, not playing there, not
jeez.
playing there, not playing there, not playing there. The closest one I got already happened, and it was in Lincoln Square, which is New York City.
New York City.
I don't know why it's not playing out here. I can go watch Spider-Man, the extended cut, in both theaters by me, by the way. I have 2 theaters within a mile and a half of each other, and Spider-Man's playing at both of them. So yay.
Priorities, man, and this is the death of art right here. Superheroes and as much. For the record, I love Spider-Man. It's one of my top movies of the summer. But
that was actually one that I almost put in the biggest surprises because I wasn't the hugest fan of Homecoming, honestly. I mean, I thought it was okay, but Far From Home, I still contend, is the best Spider-Man film since Spider-Man 2 by Sam Raimi. Like, I
Are we counting animated?
Yeah, no, not animated. I just put that in a separate category because Into the Spider-Verse might be the best Spider-Man movie that's ever been made.
So because ever since every time I talk to somebody about Midsommar, I keep telling myself I'm gonna have to rewatch it again. Now with this director's cut coming out. I was thinking of doing it, but that long run time, I know I'll appreciate it more at home. So maybe I'll just wait. Fuego in the chat, they were asking what the other 2 were.
Oh yeah, the other 2 films I've seen in theaters were Endgame and Once Upon a Time. So I saw Good Boys twice. It really takes a lot for me to want to go and see a film in a theater a second time. But yeah, I saw Endgame twice. I saw Good Boys a second time, and then Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. So those are the only ones with that distinction.
That's the other one I need to see again.
Me too.
I don't want to I have a 3.5 on Letterboxd for Once Upon a Time, and I really want to watch it again because that's the exact score I gave Hateful Eight, and Hateful Eight I think I now have as either a 4 or 4.5. But
that's your favorite Tarantino, right?
Who?
Hateful.
No, Inglourious Bastards.
I'm getting them mixed up. Yes, I saw you posting about Inglourious at one particular point. So
yeah. No, it's fine. It's okay.
You ever notice in Hateful Eight? Oh, go ahead.
Oh no, Hateful Eight. That's the pertinent topic.
Have you ever noticed in Hateful Eight how everyone has black gloves except for Samuel L. Jackson, who has white gloves, and the horses that take the carriage there in the beginning it's like 5 black horses and 1 white horse. I don't know what that means, but that fascinates me every time I watch that movie. Yeah.
Well, I mean, I'm not familiar with it. I didn't notice it. I know when they do stuff with black and white, it's a lot of times it's on purpose. Like in Baby Driver.
Oh yeah.
Color is used for influence in so many different reasons. When they're going to pick up the guns and the guy's dressed in all white and oh, he's a police officer. That like the use of color really is if you get to figuring out what it is but Tarantino's on another level, so
yeah, it could
I haven't rewatched Hateful Eight since I saw it in theaters. I was just not that much of a fan of it. It felt like it would have worked better as a stage play, in my estimation.
Emily's convinced there's something with milk in Inglourious Bastards because he drinks milk in the beginning. He tells her to wait for cream at the French restaurant. There are moments where there's like milk is a strong drink. Not strong, but it's used quite often.
Milk was a strong element.
Yeah, so like it's really interesting to see like what things that are used for certain reasons, and I wouldn't put it past Tarantino to have whatever you're talking about with the horses and the gloves, have it be some sort of meaning. I mean, Reservoir Dogs, their names were colors for Pete's sake and
for pink's sake.
I have to chime in here real quick. So Slasher in Suit says Netflix has an extended cut of Hateful Eight that does anybody prefer over the original. I was unaware of that if that's the case. Have you guys seen it?
I have not. I know it's like 4 episodes of 50 minutes, maybe, I think.
Oh, shit.
Damn, now I have to rewatch Hateful Eight.
I'll check that out. I did see The Road Show, which didn't really have anything that stuck out to me as too different, other than like the musical stuff that they did at the beginning and the intermission. But I still love that I saw
have the
it.
intermission then, because I still remember watching it in theaters where there was no intermission. It just went right into the Tarantino voiceover, and I was like, "What is going on here?"
Oh, that's crazy. Okay. Interesting.
So we said it's over. It's the summer's over. Why
so long, farewell.
This was a weird one. What guys' favorites, not favorites, disappointments, surprises? How did you feel about 2019's summer? And I'm gonna say that May is where we start, because
that's why I didn't mention Endgame in mine either.
Yeah, you can get really like. I mean, I think as far as studios are concerned, February is summer now. So
it's like the pre-summer primer.
Yeah. Why don't we call Aladdin the beginning of summer season here? And I just feel like this summer was kind of weird, off. I don't know. I don't know if you're looking, Fuego, at the YouTube page, but tell me that's not a hip hop album cover. Yeah,
that is a color contrast, especially. Yeah,
that is a Katy Perry album coming.
Something that nobody will buy physically, but they'll look at the picture on their phone as they're listening to the 3 singles.
Yeah. Oh! I didn't realize that there was music to this. That's crazy.
Oh, it's great.
So, Fuego, we to kind of piggyback the whole Midsommar discussion. I was disappointed. I want to see it again. I didn't hate it. Technically speaking, I thought it was a well-made movie.
Same.
I feel I got a lot of Wicker Man remake vibes from it.
Oh, 100%. They wore it on their sleeves, but that's the thing. I've seen the original film. I adore the original Christopher Lee film, and so it just, I mean, it's one thing to make an homage. It's another thing to directly rip off, and I don't know. It's been a long time now since that original came out. I've still never seen the Nick Cage film, so I don't have that age of comparison.
Oh, not the bees.
Not the bees.
Well, of course I've seen that scene, but
yeah. Yeah, and you would file that under disappointment too?
Definitely under disappointment. It's not one of the worst movies because it is, from a technological standpoint, such a beautiful film. They really represent tripping on mushrooms pretty accurately. I will give them that.
But not for the kids at home. No one has ever done mushrooms.
Not that I have any experience with Locos Hongos of any kind, but yeah, Midsommar was definitely a disappointment. It's not one of the worst for me. Another one, the Jim Jarmusch movie, The Dead Don't Die. That was
I heard nothing but
mixed
things on that.
Your uncle has it now.
Yeah, I thought I thought with the cast and with him doing that sort of film, I mean, I love Only Lovers Left Alive is tremendous. I like Dead Man. I like so much of what he's done, and he has such a diverse and extensive body of work, but for whatever reason, that movie did not work for me. I did not find it funny really at all. There was really no belly laughs, and I mean, I guess they were trying to be ironic with some of it, but it's just big disappointment. And then disappointment for me would be Hellboy, because when I heard that Neil Marshall was
is that summer?
Hellboy movie,
it's April. It's close enough. But...
Yeah, I guess. Oh, was it April?
You're cheating. If you're leaving Endgame off, Hellboy's cheating.
Yeah. Okay. Well, as far as another disappointment, well, then that's the thing. Missing Link was also April. God damn it. Well, disappointment. I guess I can go from disappointment to worst in the fact that I was so disappointed with Madness and the Method, the Jamie Hughes directed film. That was one that I was really excited about, and that movie was just
another movie that you have been one of 7 people to see.
Utter trash. It's so bad, so bad, and it just hurt my heart because I love those guys so much. And I mean, it was really scripting more so than anything. But so those were my disappointments. What about you guys?
Lindsey, disappointments?
Biggest disappointment. disappointment would probably be, I guess I was on the fence that this is disappointment or worse, but Hobbs and Shaw. Like,
Okay.
I guess I don't know why I had hope for that to be something kind of fun, but I thought with Idris Elba, like, it'd just be goofy and it'd embrace all that, but instead it was just The Rock and Jason Statham just riffing, and I'm so tired of riffing in the place of scripted comedy. Like, I'm tired of the killed pace. I'm tired of the lingering on nothing really happening. And the last 10 minutes are dope. And I've talked about this on the show before. I am tired of third act movies. I am tired of movies that are like 2.5 hours long that don't know what to do with themselves until the third act. But then the third act is epic and amazing. Like, I don't care how epic and amazing the third act is. To get there, I have to sit through 2 hours of crap. So I don't care how fun you are at the end, Hobbs and Shaw. You let me down. Because you had to sift through too much crap to get to the good stuff.
Yeah, I'm looking through my list, and it's both a letdown and trash for me. And Dark Phoenix.
Oh, yeah. Was that a disappointment, though? We knew that was going to be bad.
But,
right?
I mean, it wasn't good.
I mean, I didn't expect it to be that terrible. That was bad, that movie. Like,
you know, if I was going to say disappointment, Annabelle. That's another one that I was disappointed by.
That's funny. I'm the only one on the show. I liked Annabelle. I really did. Just like the grab bag horror of all the different things. Like, I love the TV. I love the armor. I love just so many. Just I don't know. It just kept throwing new things at me, so I liked it. But I understand why it might not have worked for some.
Men in Black, I might consider a disappointment, but again, another movie where I'm not putting too much pressure on that movie going into it anyway. So, you know, Chris Hemsworth, you know, he's kind of proven himself to be funny. And yeah, I just felt like let him breathe a little bit. He's held his own before. I mean, it's not like he doesn't have, you know, cute dorky moments in this movie, but I don't know. That was PG-13, right? Maybe I'm expecting a little too much.
I just think they need to just leave if they're not going to embrace the things that really worked about the original Men in Black outside of, hey, cop alien people making funny jokes, like, just leave it alone, man.
Yeah.
It's like Terminator. Like, if you're not going to really get what it's all about, just leave it lie.
And we're lucky we're not talking about spring, because I would bring up a movie too, Fuego. So
yeah, I was gonna say Yesterday being another one that I was quite excited about, and I think it's the weakest of all of the music films that I've seen this year, which includes Rocket.
That's a lot.
Blinded by the Light, which includes, I mean, yeah, quite the many. So that one, I mean, it was just very safe, you know, and it was one since I really enjoyed the Beatles music. It was, I mean, great cast, but just kind of a meh story at the end of the day.
Surprising?
Good Boys for sure.
Oh, Good Boys. Yeah, like, I knew it would be funny, but like, I didn't know it'd have so much heart in it. Like, that was my biggest surprise. Yeah.
Was that I thought it was going to be just full on stupid raunch fest.
Yeah.
Like, I was kind of turned off by the trailers, honestly. And then when I did finally see it, I was like, so 2 Taco Tuesdays and some of the beats, like with the, like, there's actual
Taco Tuesdays,
there's levity to these kids, and
well,
you know, they're.
Well, I think I said it on Emily and I's vlog. I said it is a one-note joke. If you don't like it, you know, within 20 minutes, that, you know, it's that joke. You know, the humor of that film. You know, it is that all movie. So either you're really into it, or you just find it repetitive and silly. And, you know, a movie like Life of the Party, one note joke, I didn't like it. This, I was just refreshed by it, perhaps because it was, you have children actors in an R-rated film doing some raunchy jokes that in today's day and age are just shocking. I give more credit for the Stephen Merchant scene than anything else in that movie. Just mad props for being that movie.
Yeah, no, Yeah, it's just nice to see that we can still get, like with Blockers last year. It's just nice that we can get, like teen comedies that actually have like good solid scripts behind them and talented actors in them that actually have something to kind of say about growing up still, and not just retreading old
brutal
ground.
ending. Yeah.
Well, and also last year, what was the movie with Wahlberg and Rose that was about that
Instant Family?
That one was another one that had way more heart than I was anticipating.
Mhm.
I thought it was going to be just, stupid spitball comedy, whatever. And I'm like, oh, there's like a real moral compass and core to this and good intention behind it. So that was another one I was refreshed by last year. So.
What is it? Release date in Detective Pikachu? Was that spring, summer?
No, it was summer.
I think it was.
Was it?
Yeah.
It was like June.
I know nothing about Pokemon, and I had such a fun time with that movie.
Yeah, right.
I had blue, and my best friend had red when we were in grade school.
Nice.
I didn't get into the card games or anything like that, but I watched the original cartoon in the early '90s, and I played the Game Boy game at least, and Pokemon Snap on the 64. But.
Nice.
Another surprise for me, guys, was Toy Story 4. I didn't think there was any merit or reason for a fourth Toy Story film. And this one actually got me in the feels a little bit more so, surprisingly, than even the end of the third film did, was because it was like about just like going away from home and friends and all this other stuff. And it felt more like chapter ending in some ways, even than I thought 3 did in some regard. Not with getting into certain spoilers at the end with like, Buzz and Woody and whatnot. But yeah, it got me more so than I was anticipating, especially when I was like, this feels like a cash grab to me. Do they really have a story of merit to tell? And I felt like they did. So
no, I completely agreed. Within the first 5 minutes of Toy Story 4, I was like, oh crap, I'm gonna like this movie, and I went into it not thinking I was gonna like it at all.
Yeah, I thought it was gonna suck.
Aladdin, I thought Aladdin was going to be a five-star fire, and I was okay with it. So I don't think Lindsey was.
I mean, it justified its own existence more than Lion King did.
Oh,
Both of those properties are not like sanctimonious in my estimation. I like both.
Right.
Action. I didn't love either, but I liked them both more than
somebody in the chat asked what the blockbuster of the summer is, and it is The Lion King.
Oh.
Do you remember a bigger movie that nobody is talking about, like 2019's The Lion King?
Yeah, talk about that. Nobody's talking about
The Lion King or it's Far From Home.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, but I think Lion King is worldwide. It's got the money.
I was curious which has made more now that I think about it.
That is a good question. 384. It's made more domestically. Internationally.
Ma, I expected to be.
Yeah, Lion King's beating it. Sorry.
Yeah. Yeah. Ma is a movie that I thought was gonna just kind of. Listen, I'm not saying Ma is a movie that I'm telling people, knock over your grandmother to go watch, but I felt like it could have been very paint by numbers, and it was okay, especially now that it's out of theaters. Every now and again, you get a thriller that you watch at home, and it ends up being a tad bit better because you're experiencing it at home. That's just my humble opinion.
Agreed. I mean, it depends on the movie. There definitely are some things that, even if there's not a crowd there, just seeing it on the big screen, it just gives it a little extra. But then there are other things that, like, I agree.
Mm-hmm.
If there's one other surprise, I thought the Shaft movie was going to be terrible. Nobody saw it. I saw it, and I loved it. I thought it was hilarious, much more on the comedic side than on the action side compared to the previous films. Most notably, was it Singleton who did the one with Samuel L. Jackson in 2000, if I'm not mistaken?
Yeah, it was, yeah.
So
and good old John Singleton, giving another shout out to them.
Rest in peace, sir.
Yeah.
Seriously, right? Sad. So, that's another one that I thought was surprising. But before we get to the best, guys, what do you think was one of the worst movies you saw this summer?
Dark Phoenix.
Lion King.
The Method.
Yeah.
Does Loquisha count? Because that was a summer release, I think, technically.
Yeah, I could say Critters Attack too, but that didn't even hit theaters. That was just right to VOD. That was one of the most horrible films I've seen in a while. I actually had more fun with the stupid Shudder miniseries than I did with Critters Attack with Dee Wallace returning.
My question, I guess Extremely Wicked, Shockingly Evil, and Vile only had a Netflix release and maybe a limited theatrical release because it says limited here. But it was May, so that's summer. And I haven't seen anything worse than that. I mean, Lion King's a close contender, but Extremely Wicked is definitely the worst I've seen so far.
Really?
I've heard.
I mean, not the worst of the year. Unplanned is the worst movie I saw this year so far.
Glowing response. Well, I mean, technically, the girls on the horror show loved Extremely Violent, but I'm just like, what's going on here? Is there like an alternative motivation here?
I watched
like true crime and shit, and they're just like, oh, he's so handsome.
I watched I'm assuming it's straight to VOD or ultra limited. Yeah, it was. My uncle gave it to me. Dane Cook, the comedian, in a dramatic role, film titled American Exit, and
he's like
he's
an alcoholic father or something like that.
Yeah. His performance isn't terrible. The direction is bad. Is really bad. There are dramatic moments where we're not looking at people's faces, and it's just like, no, not an over the shoulder from behind when this guy's confessing something about something deep down. It was poorly directed. I'm curious if that movie were in somebody else's hands, how it would have been handled. Because Dane Cook really isn't, he's done some questionable comedies, and I don't know how much room he's been given in those. But when he plays, like, he was really good in Mr. Brooks.
Oh, the Kevin Costner movie, right?
Yeah, and Dan in real life, he was kind of all right in too. So like, I'm really intrigued to just see him with the right, I want a Christoph Waltz with Dane Cook. Get him in the right hands, and I just want to see what he can do, because I wanted to like American Exit, and I was behind him as a character, but the movie just.
Yeah, I saw him on the press rounds for that film. He was on a couple podcasts that I listened to talking about the film and whatnot. And I was like, oh, is he trying to go full on dramatic, like more consistently now? Is he trying to do like a Robin Williams, Jim Carrey kind of turn? Or I was curious about that movie. But if you're going to say the direction's that bad, then yeah, it'll lower itself in my.
Yeah, I mean it's not unwatchable. It's just if there's a moment where he's pouring his heart out, and you're like looking over the shoulder, like at him like this, and it's just like drama. You're supposed to be, right in their face as close as possible, and here we are. Like, it's just weird shot selection. Just really weird. Just it literally took me out of it.
I'll never want that. Godzilla King of the Monsters, guys. I hate that movie. I think it's utter trash. Cecil will want to strangle me for just doubling down on this. And I know the human characters are often stupid in Godzilla movies. I've watched my fair share. We just reviewed Godzilla 84 for a Patreon request.
I just watched Godzilla vs. King Kong, which is
But these were just logic-wise, especially with that cast, man. The cast was stacked to the brim for this movie, and my God, just the logic of these characters. Vera Farmiga, especially, I was just like, I wanted to like hit my head against a wall. I was so frustrated with just the stupidity of those.
They just took too many shortcuts with that movie. Like, oh, the bad guy isn't actually trying to blow up the world; he's trying to save the world. Because that's a cliche we haven't seen a billion times over.
Are we giving Millie Bobby Brown credit for being part of a stacked cast?
I thought she was good.
You had Farmiga. You had,
Kyle Chandler. Is okay. I don't want him carrying a movie.
He was the fix-all everything guy. He knew better than all the more well-trained people throughout the entirety of the movie. He always had the answer to everything. I was just like, really?
Yeah, I like him as the the second guy.
I like him as the football coach.
Also, like, why were there twin characters in that movie that barely got any attention to the fact that they were twins, and then one of them dies, and in the next scene we see the twin, but it's not properly established that they're twins, so you think you just saw someone die and now they're back alive again. Movie blah. Also, for the record, I actually kind of like Godzilla King of the Monsters. It's just a movie that as much as you can like, that's to like in it. It's dumb.
It's brain bacon. It is brain bacon. You just put it
my
on.
opinion of loathsomeness is in the minority, but
no. You're right. You're right. It's garbage, but it's
every complaint you can launch at it, I will 100% agree with. I just managed to have some fun with it at the same time. That's all.
Like I said, I'm not getting anything intellectually, but it tastes good. So
I couldn't suspend the disbelief.
Brain bacon.
Brain bacon.
And then 47 Meters Down, Uncaged. I hated that movie as well, even if some of my contemporaries and friends online, they're like, yeah, it was better than the previous one. I contended it was not. The acting just was so awful that it just couldn't do it for me, unfortunately. So, yeah.
It's strange. I'm looking at my top 10, and only Toy Story 4. I guess Booksmart counts. All right, so Toy Story 4 and Booksmart are summer releases that are in my top 10.
I still need to see Booksmart. I really want to see that.
Well, that is one that everybody told me how great it was, and then by the time I got around to seeing it, I think it had the burden of expectation. I mean, I liked it, but I didn't love it. Kind of like with Lady Bird last year. So.
Oh, Lady Bird, pretentious.
And they both felt very pretentious to me.
Well, we had some trailers, which if you watch from the start, you got them. You got them both. These shows are going to get a little bit longer and longer. Just so you guys know, watch from the start, because if a trailer plays beforehand, chances are we're going to talk about it. First, what do you want to do first? You want to do Joker? Or you want to do Terminator? Because I think we could probably talk a little bit more about Joker than Terminator.
Probably, yeah. What is there to say about Terminator? Maybe we should just get out of the way.
That's hard. So we'll start with Terminator.
I can sense Lindsey's feelings already.
No, Terminator 2 is one of my favorite movies. Terminator 1 is amazing, and everything else since then has just been...
Which one do you prefer, 1 or 2?
It depends on my mood. I guess most often than not, I'd watch the second one, but the first one really is so good. And honestly, my biggest complaint about the first one is the music has not aged well. It's very 80s. Like, just, the synthetic version of the dun 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 dun. Dun, 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 it just doesn't work as well as the
tell that 2. To any composer who's trying to be all niche right now.
No, you're not wrong about that. Good old Stranger Things effect. Everything's got to be synthetics now.
Everything's got to be synthetic.
All callbacks now.
And we have so little to say about Terminator Dark Fate. We're already talking about Stranger Things and a much more interesting discussion on the impact.
I've always tried to hedge it over there anytime possible.
Well, so this is what trailers are now. It's like mini fan films where you get to see your favorite characters do a badass thing, and hopefully you'll want to pay and see it. I'll admit when Schwarzenegger holds down the I don't know what type of Terminator that one is, but he holds him down and just keeps blowing his face off until you see the cybernetic polyalloy, whatever the hell the material is. Like, you see the metal skull underneath. It was like that was neat.
It was a cool shot, a cool 2.6 seconds of film.
You got it. That's it. I got what I need. Thank you.
I also kind of like the
jacked up, man. I love that part.
Yeah.
What's that?
That part got me jacked up. And
I'm with you.
Same with where he's going through the border patrol and he starts slicing heads off and stuff. I was like, this is what we've been missing from the last 2 Terminator movies, is an R rating and just willingness to. I mean, Schwarzenegger even went on record after Comic-Con, I believe it was, and he was like, "This is an R-rated movie. There's people getting sliced the F up and blah blah blah." And I was like, "Yeah, that's what." I mean,
There's one shot of like the evil Terminator. He's like got like a bunch of guys on him, like in a football scrim or something. They're all trying to slow him down, and he's just like, "All right, screw all you guys," and he starts just stabbing up through all of them with like spikes of whatever the hell he's made out of. I'm like, okay, that looks kind of cool.
Yeah,
but
it's all venom on them.
But again, it's like fan film stuff. It's it's sizzle reel where it's like, here, let's put as much badass stuff as we can in 2 minutes, and oh, by the way, Sarah says I'll be back, and it's just like, oh, come on.
That was
even actually you're right. It was total cheap fan service, just emotional manipulation.
Yeah.
But even that shot that we talked about a second ago, I almost forgot about this. The shooting the guy in the face. That's a callback to Terminator 2 when Arnold Schwarzenegger got all upset that the big truck rammed the riddle truck that he was in with Sarah Connor and John, and Terminator gets all determined face, grabs the M16, crawls from the little truck onto the hood of the big truck, and just goes up in the liquid metal.
I'm actually laughing. I'm actually laughing because you said he gets so determined, and I'm like, does that mean he got determinated?
God damn you, Fuego.
Sorry.
That's a Lindsey joke.
That is a me joke.
Yeah, that was a popsicle stick joke right there.
Yeah.
Anyway.
And the fact that they're already talking about making a new trilogy out of this is like, God damn it, the last 3 movies were supposed to make trilogies, and they all failed horribly. Stop.
They were. Good point. Yeah, Salvation was going to start a trilogy.
Christian Bale signed on for 3 and then made 1.
Yeah.
And Sam Worthington between that and Avatar, they thought he was going to be the next big thing, but it was like almost like with the Taylor Kitsch guy, where they were like forcing somebody to be a star, and audiences just didn't really care. They weren't receptive to it. So
the original Jai Courtney.
Yeah, in a lot of ways.
Yeah, just
Jai Courtney being in Genesis, right?
Oh, you're right. Yeah, he was in Genesis. Forgot about that.
And how funny is it that Jason Clarke actually has a career still?
Yeah.
I think he's a damn good actor.
He really is, yeah. He was the best part of Serenity earlier this year.
He's just played some God, Serenity is in my worst of the year, 100%.
That Matthew McConaughey
and The
movie?
Beach Bum. Matthew McConaughey is maybe the 2 worst movies I've seen all year in a theater.
Oh. Matthew McConaughey's 2019 is Judy Greer's 2018. Is that what we're saying? Yeah, no, I couldn't. I stopped. And Lindsey, you told me there's a catch to that movie.
Which catch?
Serenity.
Oh,
and I was like, I gotta watch for the finish, and I was just like, I don't care. I don't care. This is so stupid. I don't know where this is going. Bye. And turned it off. 20 minutes.
The answer is it thinks it's going somewhere, but it's just walking in a circle. Not even like a big circle. It's like a very tiny, just little. It's
about the size of the imaginary island that McConaughey lives on.
Yeah.
In the video game. Spoilers.
But the Joker.
So Terminator. We're like.
If it's good, awesome, I'll jump for joy. It's not going to be, though.
I actually have faith, man. We just I have faith. We put up our reaction this morning on the horror show, and I mean, all of us were in consensus of thinking. I mean, girl power, spice of status, all that shizzle. So I don't know. Tim Miller, I think, is a talented director. I feel like he shoots action very well, especially, and Cameron actually having something to do with the production instead of just being handed a pile of money to endorse, as opposed to being.
You're sitting in the theater and you're seeing things on the screen that look like something you recognize. Oh, James, just go finish your damn avatars. Shut up.
Well, she did that to get an extra like $3 million for Avatar 5 or something like that.
So I'm going to pay Terminator the same respect that I did Star Wars last week.
Mm-hmm.
There's a moment in the trailer where Linda Hamilton sees Arnold Schwarzenegger and she gets all amped up like she wants to kill him. Why do you think that is?
I think it's because it's the original Terminator model from the first film that has somehow been repaired or something, as opposed to, the one that she befriended and, all that stuff in the second film. That's my theory, at least.
My theory, and this is absolutely not it at all, but we're not seeing John Connor anywhere in this movie. There's no in this trailer. There's no mention of John Connor. The name John has not been said. What if that original Terminator that Arnold Schwarzenegger is playing was supposed to protect Sarah and John Connor, but he failed and John Connor died, and now this girl that they need to protect is the new John Connor?
Wait, don't we have unconfirmed word that Edward Furlong's in this movie?
And an unspecified amount of screen time, yes.
It is confirmed. They mentioned it at Comic-Con on stage that he's in it, but they gave some further clarification that it's like one of those mocap, like...
Oh, yeah, that's true, too. Yeah.
Oh.
There's speculation this girl is his daughter. There's there's all kinds of different things going down, so...
Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right.
So basically, it's slightly better than... It's about as confusing as Genesis.
Well, see, which one was it? 3 or 4? Where the reason that the Terminators look like Arnold Schwarzenegger was because it was Arnold Schwarzenegger with a different accent, who was the designer.
Oh yeah.
Well, I don't remember which one that was.
Was that Salvation?
It was one of the. It was one of the not good ones.
Well, if it was a deleted scene, I feel like it was a deleted scene for 3. Yeah, I think it was 3.
What if he's the what if he I forgot the dude's name, who the dude who they
Miles
break into
Dyson.
his house? Miles Dyson.
Yeah, Dyson.
What if he's what if he's this movie's version of that where she's got to kill him because somehow he's responsible because he designed or something.
That'd be interesting. Bring back the kid too.
Yeah, and I want a same death just so I can see. Sorry. For those of you who don't, I hope people know what I'm doing because it's fucking funny. There's 2.
Yeah.
Sorry.
The part where he's dying. And
yeah. I don't know much longer. I can hold this.
The cop he's talking during that scene is what's his name, Hank from Breaking Bad.
Yes,
Yeah.
I do know that. I do.
Yes.
All right. So Terminator might be good. There, we said it.
I hope it's good. I don't think it will be, but I hope it is. I want to watch it.
Yeah, release date tells me no faith.
Yeah.
November 1, that very strong early November release. But
get it in before all the Oscar fair and just wash your hands of it. But
not even going to compete with the counter measure, which would be a children's movie over Thanksgiving weekend. Okay, all right, I see you. I see
that's
where
when
your
Frozen
confidence
2's coming out, right?
Wait, what comes out that?
I was trying to remember
Frozen
Thanksgiving
2.
weekend. If
Yeah,
Frozen 2 is Thanksgiving
but nothing.
weekend.
There's no counter programming. There's
I keep forgetting Frozen 2 is
November
happening. 22nd. That's when it's
yeah,
coming out.
that's got to be like right around Thanksgiving.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah. But yeah, that November 1st, I don't. That doesn't say confidence to me. But October 6th, we get Joker.
Yeah.
And how?
Which-
Just screened at Venice.
Yeah, 8 minutes, people standing and clapping, and everybody's talking about the O word for Mr. Phoenix.
I hope it works out for him.
Yeah.
Could 2 different actors win the O for portraying the same character? Bum, bum,
That'd be
bum.
cool.
Ooh,
That'd be cool.
Good question. The O word is Oscar, just in case.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought it was orgasm.
Orgasmo.
So real quick, I just want to talk about the trailer that we had just watched. The most recent trailer. Martin Scorsese is producing this film, correct? He has some capacity of development of this film.
Yes,
Right.
I believe so. Yeah.
Okay. So can somebody tell me that this trailer does not feel like a mixture of Taxi Driver and oh shit, I forgot the name of the movie with Jerry Lewis and Robert De Niro. Oh, what's
Lewis? De Niro.
It's inspired by the works of Martin Scorsese and the graphic novel The Killing Joke. It does not look like Scorsese has anything specifically
The King of Comedy.
Oh no, he is producing it. Okay, so he's co-producing with. Okay, but he's not. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
The King of Comedy and Taxi Driver is this movie. If the King of Comedy and Taxi Driver had a kid, it's the Joker trailer.
It's just funny because I've actually never seen either of those movies.
Oh, you better get on Taxi Driver at the very least.
I'll watch them both before this.
Oh, hey, Roger. Yes. There's a delay.
Taxi Driver?
Yeah, I saw it.
Oh man, Taxi Driver's great.
Yeah, everybody has one where it's just like, oh wait, you haven't seen that?
No.
I have plenty of those.
Wait, you haven't seen Breaking Dawn Part 2?
Let's not go down that well with me. Some of mine are pretty bad.
Like, you haven't seen 50 Shades Free? What?
What do you mean you haven't seen Kin? What's wrong with you?
That damn joke.
You
haven't seen Police Academy 5.
Oh,
all right, stop. No, we're pushing aside 90 minutes.
You haven't seen Heavyweights. My God. It's one of the best Disney live actions of the 90s.
I do agree with that. That's a good movie. I do like
since neither of you have seen either films.
No, I've seen Taxi Driver.
Mm-hmm.
Do you get a little bit of that?
I own it. I love it. Yeah, it's great. I mean, to a slight degree. I have not seen the other film you mentioned though, the Jerry Lee and
The King of Comedy. It's funny because De Niro in this movie is Jerry Lewis's character in The King of Comedy. Jerry Lewis is a night show host, and Robert De Niro is an up and coming comedian, but not too far stretched from his Taxi Driver character. He's a little off, and he I guess that would count as a stalker movie because he starts stalking Jerry Lewis's character, and then he, I think, kidnaps him, and as ransom, like he wants to host the show and becomes a star, or does he? Because he's all messed in the head. It's an interesting movie.
I'm probably gonna seek it out now.
yeah, it's worth a watch. It's not
The King of Comedy. You said
The King of Comedy. Scorsese. Scorsese in the '80s was a little interesting, I guess is the best way to put it. But
cocaine's a hell of a drug, man.
Yeah, well, I was gonna say Raging Bull was '80s, right?
80s 880.
That's how he started the 80s with Raging Bull. That's dope.
Yeah, and then he was like, I'll just do a sequel to The Hustler, and we'll do this Jesus movie, and just keep rolling.
Yeah, could you imagine? Like, it's just so weird to think about a Jesus movie from back then compared to the ones that we get today. Like,
that was banned or not banned. It was picketed against that movie, Last Temptation of Christ.
Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, your thoughts on the trailer, now having zero influence from what I was just saying.
I am super interested. I think it looks like a dope performance, and it's such a out there character. Every actor, I feel like it's a character every actor should play at some point, just to be like, and this is the kind of actor I am. What I do with the Joker. Like, I'm not saying we need that many Joker movies, but it is a kind of a thing where, like, I do want to see, like, every actor that I like. I want to see the Idris Elba Joker.
Yeah.
Like, I think that'd be amazing. We'll never see it, and it's totally dumb that I want to see it, but I think that'd be cool. I'm reading some things, and I can kind of see it happening where, like, people are being worried or, like, saying early reactions, or, like, people are kind of responding to this version of the Joker in the same way that a lot of people, like, misinterpret Tyler Durden from Fight Club instead of, like, seeing it for, like, the teardown for what it is, taking it at face value. And so I think that's going to spur some interesting conversations.
Yeah.
But that just makes me want to see it even more because, hey, kooky conversation. Yeah, let's talk about it. It's going to be an interesting movie. I hope I like it. I think I'll like it. I hope I like it. I'll like it. I don't know. We'll see.
Philip Seymour Hoffman said that, any actor, most actors would love to play the superhero, the leading man, that's easy. That everybody has an ego. It's real easy to play the fun stuff. True actors are the ones that can play somebody who's pathetic and pull roles off that that are feelings that people don't want to portray. And he was one of those actors that really did pathetic roles really well.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that Joker per se is pathetic, but he's very flawed. You could see that in the 2 minutes we got. Fuego.
Yeah, I can definitely see the taxi driver connotations here, and the fact that he comes off in the trailer as being slightly socially inept and like shy, but with like a real like dark tinge to him that's just waiting below the surface to boil over.
But what's weird? Well, sorry to cut you off, but what's weird is they open it up where he's trying to be polite to that little kid, and the mom's a little snappy. If we're being blunt, she got a little.
She gets snippy with him, and you can tell it hurts his feelings, and that's where like maybe he was overdoing it by trying to entertain the child, and that's why he is like just socially weird. I mean, I don't think he's going to take Zazie Beetz to a porno or anything, but I mean, which happens in Taxi Driver. He goes on a date with a woman, and he takes her to a porno at one of those sleazy theaters in New York City, and she's just like, "What did you think was happening here with us? Like, what was going on?" And Taxi Driver's so good, but. Yeah, I can see the connotations here. The biggest issue that I had with this is I feel like even more so than in The Killing Joke, and this does claim Todd Phillips saying that this is not based on any pre-existing material. This is their own like take on the Joker. It's straight up Elseworlds. It's their own sort of thing. I feel like they're almost giving them or giving him specifically kind of like what they did with Natural Born Killers, where they're making like this anti-hero kind of like the whole movement of people wanting to dress up as clowns, and him presumably from the trailer inciting riots, and they're almost like glorifying him and making him a little more sympathetic than I would personally like.
Is that what happens in The Killing Joke, where people get excuse me, there's a race outside my house apparently.
Well, I mean, The Killing Joke was kind of the route that they took to a degree in the original Tim Burton Batman, but they just, kind of hinted at some of it. I mean, in The Killing Joke, Alan Moore, he's this comedian, and he's kind of pathetic, and you feel sorry for him. You feel like empathy and sympathy and stuff. But, it just ends up being a sad shit situation. So you do have that comparison as far as feeling bad for the character.
If you go down the rabbit hole, like the YouTube clickbait situation where, 10 things you missed from the Joker trailer, there's moments where there's a ton of identical Joker masks, and like there's some sort of fight or a scuffle of some sort at a train station, and he's in the middle of it, and multiple people are wearing Joker masks, and I'm wondering if it's kind of V for Vendetta where he becomes
oh my god, they get to turn the Joker into a revolutionary that's the kind of stuff that makes me worry about the Fight Club stuff.
Right. Yeah. Like again, this is what the problem is with speculation and showing us too much.
Sure. Yeah.
Listen, alien spaceship over Empire State Building, July 4th, go watch it. That's all you need.
Best trailer ever.
Welcome to Earth.
But yeah, I don't. I'm trying not to look too hard into it, but
I am refreshed that it's a final trailer and we're still like over a month out.
A month,
just letting it be. There'll probably be more TV spots that reveal just little tidbits more, but. Yeah, I'm just happy they're like 2 trailers, boom, that's all you're getting, and we're just going to step away, hopefully.
All right, and
that'd be cool if that. I hope you're right. That'd be so cool if they did it like that.
So in the meantime, we've got this large property that Warner Brothers decided to drop on us, a sequel. A sequel
out of the
to
blue, completely out of the blue, yeah.
A sequel to a remake, to a readaptation, to start argument here about what type of movie this is and what it actually is. It Chapter 2 is finally upon us. Nervous? Excited?
I'm excited.
What do we got?
I'm nervous.
I'm down. I still wish Seth Green was in it because that'd be awesome. But you know what? The cast looks great. I'm down. Let's do it. I'm ready. My body's ready.
I am trying to approach with cautious optimism, but the biggest thing for me is the fact that I've read Cary Fukunaga's initial script. I've read the rewrite that somebody did where they combined Stanley and Richie into one gay Jewish character. It was drastically different. But then when Gary Dauberman went and did a polish of Carrie's original script, he retained pretty much all of the main beats, a lot of the same dialogue. So the finished script is very, very close to what Carrie did. There is no Cary Fukunaga on this script, obviously. Yeah. And it's Gary Dauberman, who has written terrific films like The Nun, who is adapted this. And for that reason, I am really approaching this with caution. People are proclaiming that Bill Hader is great as the grown-up Beep Beep Richie. I personally like the guy from Night Court quite a bit. I thought he was great in the original miniseries. But yeah, I'm worried, but trying to be just cool about it. So yeah, that's where I'm at, and I feel like Carrie's script really didn't get as much credit as it deserved. I mean, he got a writing credit, obviously, but his lack of involvement in this is my biggest red flag. So
okay, so I have some stats. 2017 really kind of shocked some people. Yeah, it made some money.
It did pretty okay for itself. Let's be real here.
$123 million on the second weekend of September. That was opening weekend. And speaking of the brilliance that was the summer of 2019, its opening weekend in the second week of September would have been the second highest weekend in the summer of 2019. Only The Lion King did better than 123. It was at 192 for July 19th. Toy Story 4 was 121. Spider-Man was 93. Aladdin was 92. Hobbs and Shaw was 60. And Godzilla was 48. So kids are back in school. I guess, you know what? It doesn't matter if it's an R-rated movie. I'm looking down at that list, and there's nothing R-rated. So... exception to the rule, I guess, but
the R rating didn't matter before, I guess. So, I don't think it's going to have that much of a, implication, but I'm actually predicting this does not do numbers as big as the previous film.
I agree. I don't think it's crossing 100, but,
it'll do like Halloween numbers probably. It'll do like
80
change, 85 maybe.
Yeah. I mean, there's not... Angel Has Fallen pulled in 12 this weekend. So, I mean, 50 would be a tremendous leap at this point. Go ahead, Lindsey.
No, I think it's going to do pretty good. There's nothing else out there right now. The first one was so well received. I think it'll do just shy of 100.
Really?
Yeah. Okay. Just because there's just nothing else going on right now, and people love the first one, so I'm just
Yeah, and what the embargo's tomorrow?
Yeah, that's true. I guess what the reviews say will be a huge determiner if it's.
I really wish I was at a screening yesterday because. I don't know. My opinion matters, but if I know what it's like, I could probably judge and predict a little bit more. But I have a funny there's just something about this one that isn't speaking to me the way the first one was. Because I remember it just seemed like a lot of people were talking about it when it first came. In 2017, the lead-in was such a big deal. I don't think that's there this time. But I certainly could be wrong. I just could be, every single time something happens, an actor for Halloween gets announced, and that's the news, and it's just who cares that that not even filming yet. What are we talking about this for? So I don't know. The horror community is a little weird, but it just feels different right now. and I'll take your silence as
No,
a-
you're not wrong, because like there was all the ink about like just the number of views the first It trailer was getting and stuff like that, how explosive it was on YouTube and stuff like that. And since we haven't really had
Single-handedly
anything,
got thousands of subscribers from our It reaction. I think for the first trailer, it's one of the most watched in our channel's history.
Really?
It's like almost 100,000. It's ridiculous. So
Wow.
Yeah.
I got to go back and do an It trailer reaction, I think.
yeah, just a retrospective, like.
Yeah, me and Cecil got bonkers for that. But yeah, I mean, I there is something for whatever reason that people seemingly prefer.
Yeah.
About the child story, and for me, as being a lover of the original miniseries in the book, you know, I was asked to do a video recently that I declined to participate in for various reasons that we won't get into. But there's an obvious misconception about how the book is framed because of the fact that I was asked by this fellow YouTuber to do a video about the first half of the book and how the first movie, 2017 adapted the first half of the book. And I'm like, not quite how it works, because the It book basically, it jumps back and forth chapter by chapter practically. So it joins an adult and it gives adult information in the present day at the time. And then it jumps back sometimes in the same chapter to recollections of their childhood. And
Are you trying to say that this YouTuber doesn't really have their information straight?
Unfortunately not.
I don't believe that
Get out
one
of town.
bit. Nonsense, sir.
Yeah, but I mean, at the end of at the end of the book, you have both the kids in the sewer and the adults in the sewer. So it almost works parallel narrative-wise, and so that's just something to clarify. This film, obviously, with jumping back to the kids from the adults, it's going to be more to the framing device of the book itself. But I don't know. I'm approaching with caution and trepidation.
So is it very like Days of Future Past? How like the battle against the Sentinels in the future is taking place at the exact same time as the battle in to save the president?
Yeah,
Okay,
the kids fight Pennywise in those various forms, both as kids and adults, at the same part in the novel. So, which is at the end of the novel. So
I think what's holding me back is my knowledge of It, the second half of It from 1990, whatever. So the TV second half is just abysmal, and I think that's just like a big roadblock in my skull. Like there's no way this could be any good because, it can't be worse, can it? I mean.
Well, I mean, never say it can't be worse, because it'll find a way to get. Life finds a way, my friend.
Yeah, good old Jimmy Goldblum.
Yeah. I mean, it was just the less interesting part of the miniseries, I felt, because they kind of knew everything by that point. The mystery was not as not there so much,
and it got silly. It got just outright silly at points.
Yeah. But it felt like it was still childish, but with adults, and maybe that just doesn't work as well. And I don't know. It could just be that it's one of those books that just does not translate to film. Is that a discussion worth having, Fuego? Do you think there is a way to properly adapt it?
Well, I mean, Andy is even saying at this point, he was just recently quoted that he wants to put together, almost like what they did with Watchmen, he wants to put together at some point an ultimate cut, and he wants to resequence some things and have it more akin to the actual framing of the novel in that regard. And
so what, like a 4 or 5 hour cut of it as like one?
Yeah, that's more faithful to the framing of the novel.
Get closer
with
to the mic, Lindsey.
But
sorry,
I don't know.
I got a little comfortable. Sorry.
It is over 1,000 pages. There's only a couple Cy King books that are over 1,000 pages. There's The Stand, obviously It, and I want to say, Under the Dome is right around there. But it's a tough property because of the fact that there's even so much that they don't touch on in the films, because in the book, it actually has these interludes, which are basically Mike Hanlon, the Black Kid's character, grown up writing in a journal about all the dairy history he's investigating and all of these crazy events that happened 27 years prior in that little interval of sorts. And I mean, there's everything from, in the 1800s, a bunch of drunk, it's like loggers like killing each other in a bar. There's a crazy shootout in I think it's the 20s of a bunch of mobsters. I mean, so there's always some big beat that happens every 27 years, and they go into so much rich detail about it. And for that reason, I think that they should have done a Derry TV series as opposed to a Castle Rock TV series. But that's just my personal opinion. There's a lot of history to explore there.
That's an interesting idea.
How do you think they handle the reveal?
The reveal of
the Pennywise
I'm
hoping, yeah,
because they are having the spider in it. I just hope it looks better than in the previous one.
No, I hope it doesn't. I hope they bring the same stop motion doll into this, and they just put some CGI on top of it just to make it look even worse somehow. And so you got you got freaking Professor Xavier running around being like, "Run!" This stop motion. Sorry, okay, I'll stop. It's going to be interesting to see what they do with it. Because it's not even a spider per se, it's just like the closest approximation of what he actually looks like, correct?
Yes, exactly. And they end up having something called the Ritual of the Chud, which is like this crazy psychic staring contest. Chud. I know it's got the on top, but tomatoes, I guess. Chud. So it makes me wonder if they're actually going to do their weird psychedelic mind warfare sort of thing. I'm guessing not, but.
If there's no turtle in this movie, then I'm throwing it in the trash, okay?
I'm really kind of nervous.
He's confirmed there isn't going to be the turtle, unfortunately.
No!
Okay. The turtle of enormous girth. On his back, he holds the earth.
How do you keep the spider and fix it, though? Make it
look good?
I'm nervous. I'm less confident. I don't know. But I had no interest in 2017, and everybody was crazy that opening weekend, and I was like, what could possibly, there's no way it's going to be that good, and I was shocked at how much I enjoyed it. So
yeah, it's a testament to a good director when they get terrific performances out of kids, which was the same with Good Boys. Just to round back to that, I'm always impressed when
that really stuck with you, huh?
Can get to. I love Good Boys. I mean, after that second viewing, I loved it even more. It's probably
the movie of the summer.
It's probably in my 10 of the year, man.
Yeah.
It's not in the top 5, but it's in my 10. It's my favorite comedy of the year.
Cool. Oh, that's not hard.
That's not saying a lot. It's like Long Shot. It's actually fun, and the Art of Self-Defense is a terrific dark comedy that nobody saw. That I loved. I love that movie. It's pretty dark though. Jesse Eisenberg kind of playing the same kind of mousy dude that he has many times before, but yeah, it's just so well written.
Yeah, Long Shot. I have like 20 spots below Good Boys. It's not even close.
Oh wow.
All right, so we're at an hour and a half. I don't know if you guys want to, Fuego, you wanted to bring up the future, but I don't know how deep you want to get into it, or you want to talk about maybe just September for a little bit, or.
Well,
I mean, because next week,
not much happening in September, really. Well, I mean, everything is October, November, December.
Well, I mean, we know next week's going to be a debrief. We might have guests, so I mean, next week is going to be the It Spectacular. So
the It-tacular.
Yeah, we might as well. I mean, if we're gonna, sweep a little bit, might as well do it now, because next week we're gonna be in the weeds.
Yeah, I mean, most of the big stuff is coming. There's really, throughout the rest of September, it's, Rise of Skywalker December.
Oh, by the way, did you guys hear that that Rise of Skywalker poster?
Yes.
Yeah, that's not an image of the Emperor. That's an image of a toy of the Emperor.
Yeah, so on the YouTube page, the poster on the far right, that is not Ian McDermott. That is a toy. Which is awesome. Now I want that poster even more.
No, you're not wrong. It's once you realize it too, you can't unsee it. It's pretty amazing. So
Star
Wars, good time.
There's a Star Wars movie coming out this year. What else are you looking forward to, Fuego?
Yeah, I mean,
between now
October
and-
has a lot of really cool releases. I mean, Joker, which we touched on already.
Mhm.
I'm actually stoked about the more so than I thought I was going to be until I've seen the trailer a few times now. Pretty much anytime I go and use my A list, Gemini Man, the Ang Lee film
with the Will Smith.
Will Smith playing dueling characters. I actually think that looks quite compelling and good cast. And I mean, yeah, that's one that I'm pretty stoked about. That comes out in October.
No.
What else? Zombieland, which honestly, at this point, I after watching the trailer a few times, I feel like everyone is happy to be there except Emma Stone. Emma Stone really feels like she's getting it in.
Oh yeah, sure. Sure.
Like she's just like, why am I here? Oh,
Listen,
because
I'm a real actor now. I don't need this.
Yeah, well, I'm Oscar nominated. Why am I doing this? These other people need work, you know. So, but honestly, it's getting limited theatrical. But I know I sent you guys the trailer. Did you watch the clip for "Dolomite Is My Name"? The Eddie Murphy.
No.
Yes.
I forgot.
Yes.
I'm sorry.
Great, and what a cast! My God.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that's
the story. I even looked into the story a little bit. It's quite intriguing. It's a dude who it's a dude who thought of himself as an actor and produced. What is it? Actor, producer, or both?
I think he did both, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, and he wanted to make movies, but he, Eddie, yeah. Watch the. Was it October? I can't. I'm not wording at all. My brain's shutting down. Watch the trailer. It's what, October? Netflix?
It's limited theatrical in early October, and then at the end of October, it's going to hit Netflix. So they're doing that same model that they are with The Irishman, where they're going to give it that short theatrical because they want awards consideration, and then they're going to dump it on Netflix a couple.
Are
weeks
you
later.
sure that's Netflix America though? Because Annihilation was the same thing where it was.
Remember, it got theatrical, and then they just dumped it overseas because they didn't think it was bankable. And that movie is so good; it just broke my heart the way it was treated. So
American Netflix within a couple of weeks of theatrical.
I'm trying to bring it up right now.
Interesting.
Because that's a really important piece to the puzzle there. Because
especially for the international watchers, yeah, you are correct, sir.
Well, the international watchers, they'll get it. Whatever that second week or whatever. Because I remember, I forgot what it was. Oh, Brian Lomax in the UK talking about, I'm about to throw on Annihilation. I'm like, what? What are you talking about? It's on like 3 screens. What do you mean you're about to throw it on at home?
Wow.
I'm trying to get the exact.
You guys excited for The Lighthouse at all, by the way?
Moderately. I mean, I love The Witch. I was the only person on the horror show who loved The Witch. Nobody else on the horror show enjoyed The Witch. But
I'm with you. I thought it was very good, the Witch. So I mean I'm excited. I just want to see where it's gonna go. The cast is a little weird, but the concept seems fun, and the black and white kind of gives a little character I'm interested in.
Yeah, I'm cautiously cautious.
Cautiously cautious.
Yes, Sandra. Kevin Hart was in a car accident today.
Oh yeah.
A non-fatal car accident, but he did need surgery.
Back surgery. Him and a buddy, I think.
Yeah, which I can relate to. I've had spinal surgery due to a car accident.
Oh wow.
You know, he'll be out of commission for a couple of months, but if it's
situation or anything.
Yeah, Tracy Morgan, I would say, was way worse. If it's just his back, he might not be able to walk again. Are you sure about that? I had stuff.
Did not hear that.
Yeah. We'll get more on that because that happened today overnight. I'm a spinal surgery. Can you tell? Maybe I need more pills. I've had it, and in a very important part of the spine, the disc right above your tailbone, which is where all the nerves to your legs are, which they don't like to mess around down there because that's how you get paralyzed, is tweaking one of those nerves.
Right.
And I'm okay. I I just can't. What's weird is I can do pressure to my hips. I can't do hard, like I can ice skate, I can swim, I can't run because the pressure is the vibration of the feet slamming against the ground. But I can I don't know how to explain it. He'll be okay. He'll be in a lot. You'll see him a lot sooner than you'll see. You did see Tracy Morgan, but
I'm reading that his wife is saying that he's doing okay.
Yeah, that's good.
I'm reading a few things on that right now.
Yeah, I think he'll be. I mean, you might not see him a couple months. He'll. It's his back, maybe he walked with a limp or something, but to sound shitty, it could have been way worse.
Yeah, well, that's the whole glass half full versus half empty perspective, obviously. So, I was just rewatching some older funny shit with him and Anthony Anderson from one of the Scary Movies where they're debating about how can you wake up dead? That doesn't make sense, man. And they're going back and forth. Like those little obviously improvised bits in those movies. I don't know. People have differing viewpoints about when the Wayans handed off the series to the Zuckers, or Zuckerbergs or whatever those guys. But,
and Soul Plane, that was my first. Yeah, Soul Plane, that was my first Kevin Hart experience. I was like, oh, this guy's way funnier than whatever this is. It's weird how really strong comedians get put in bad comedies, and strong comedians normally write for themselves.
Dave Chappelle, Nutty Professor.
Yeah. Let them write. Don't mind me. It's Indy 500.
NASCAR.
Yeah. Just let the comedians do their thing. I don't know why you bring a comedian into a film to read somebody else's work. They're writers. Let them write.
Agreed.
I digest. What else? What else we got for anything else competing with Terminator in November?
Frozen 2.
Yeah, that's the end. Oh wait, anything else for October? You said.
Well, I since I love Taika Waititi, I want to see Jojo Rabbit, but what is up with this movie, man? I've watched the trailers and I'm just. I feel as befuddled apparently as Disney did when they. I mean, they're like, how is this marketable? This does feel kind of insensitive and just kind of. I don't know where he's coming from, but I love everything else he's done. The Hunt for the Wilder People, the weird one with the weird rapping kid who likes Tupac and stuff. And I mean, obviously, What We Do in the Shadows. He did a film called Eagle versus Shark, which had Jermaine, who went on to do Flight of the Conchords.
I've seen that. Yeah.
Eagle versus Shark is one of the most awkward romantic comedies you will see, and it's terrific. It's just that epitome of that Kiwi humor that is just makes you feel uncomfortable, but it's so hilarious. So, yeah, I like everything Taika's done, but that movie, I'm kind of struggling along with a lot of other people to figure out why.
It can't be worse than Loquisha. There's no way.
No, nothing's gonna be worse than Loquisha.
There's no way. Zachary Haith says Ice Cream Truck 2. No, that is titled Hunting Season.
Oh wow.
Oh no, Sandra, you did not love Ice Cream Truck. Please, you must be thinking of Ice Cream Man.
The one with the Opie's little brother, right?
Yeah. Ice Cream Truck.
Yeah.
Wow.
Clint Howard. That's a great movie. It's a good bad movie.
Yeah, Ice Cream Truck is.
Not watching it. That was one we did a reaction to, and we were just like, nope. We have too many other things to.
I still need to see it, just out of sheer curiosity from all that stuff that happened with it.
Lindsey, do you have a tripod?
Yeah.
You could probably do better.
Wow.
That's all I have to say about it.
I thought you were like, okay, in terms of making the movie. I'm like,
yeah. Just
I was wondering for a sec too.
I was like, because I tapped my desk with my knee as you said that. I was like, oh god, I mean, my sound's not that bad. CP, come on, buddy. Like,
no. What I mean is, get a camera. Go film something in a neighborhood.
Okay.
You can probably do better.
Hey, man, thanks for the vote of confidence, bro.
Thank you, Sandra. She's talking about the Clint Howard one, Ice Cream Man,
Okay,
Ice Cream
gotcha.
Truck. Which, by the way, make the decision for yourself. Not everybody agrees. My opinion is merely mine. If you have Amazon Prime, you can watch Ice Cream Truck for yourself. Make up your own mind. I am not your Lord and Savior. Although bow. But yeah, not a good time, that movie.
Okay, I'll try and check it out then, just for sheer curiosity.
Oh, you'll know within 20 minutes whether or not you're sticking around. It's
Okay.
It's a horror movie.
Jesus Christ Vampire Hunter. Nobody has seen that movie. It's got the best theme song ever, but after about 5 minutes, you're like, what is going on? Jesus is hunting lesbian vampires, and it looks like they shot it at the park. And it's
Dude,
so bad.
2 years ago, I was sent, like, I mean, you guys probably get it too, where you get sent stuff from like these.
Oh yeah.
These like ultra indie, no budget guys who are trying to just spread their movie around. And
Just
I got one
a week ago.
Yeah, I got one in my inbox, and it was what was the title? I'm gonna mess it up. The Velocipaster.
We did a trailer.
What the hell is Velocipaster? That sounds interesting.
You see, that was one that seemed so bad. I actually wanted to at least give it, maybe, I don't know.
It's got wheels now. It's getting a little bit of a push. So something happened where somebody scooped it up, and it's getting like a minor VOD release.
I first heard about it like maybe a year or two ago.
Yeah, 2017, I want to say, is
it's like
when
I was
was
concept trailer or something.
Yeah. Velocipaster is like it's. I don't know how to give a quick synopsis. It's a pastor who knows karate, and somehow he's something about with raptors or.
I was gonna say, after losing his parents, a priest travels to China, where he inherits a mysterious ability that allows him to turn into a dinosaur. Although he is horrified by the new power, a hooker convinces him to use it to fight crime.
Oh, that sounds amazing.
Dude.
Sounds like something Lloyd Kaufman would put out, right?
Yeah.
That talk about canon movies earlier in their podcast. There you go, right there.
Actually, Kaufman is like, no, I wouldn't touch that film.
It's a pastor who turns into a dinosaur. That was exactly what it is, Tim. Sandra says, I saw Abraham Lincoln Vampire Hunter. Not exactly the same, but different mess altogether.
The book is terrific. The book is so damn good. Seth Grahame-Smith, the guy who did Pride and Prejudice and Zombies, that book's just okay. But Abraham Lincoln Vampire Hunter movie, not so good. Book, tremendous. John Wilkes Booth is a vampire, and that's why he's trying to kill Abe Lincoln. It does its historical research actually, neat. And ties things together.
I don't hate that idea. So November, we've got Terminator, and then Frozen at the end of the month, and a bunch of nothing in the middle.
I think so. I've been looking at lists of movies. Nothing else is really jumping out at me.
Wow.
I mean, the other stuff in November, really, for me, is obviously The Irishman, all 3.5 hours about it, which we were talking about.
Yeah. That could be a home. Yeah. That might be
Charlie's Angels, November 15th. Dr. Sleep, November 8th.
Oh, Dr. Sleep.
That's my biggie. Yeah. You guys know. I mean, come on. Stevie K.
Mm-hmm. I don't know. Charlie's Angels, I don't know how. There's something about Charlie's Angels that, again, in 2019, that is not a movie I think you can make.
It's going to be interesting. I'm kind of there with you. It's going to be interesting to see how they manage to pull it off.
I mean, how do you do that without objectifying women, and like that was Charlie's Angels. It was
I don't have much interest. I mean, I saw clips of the previous couple that had Lucy Liu and Barry Moore and stuff.
The first one's good. I like the first one. It's got what's his name in it from Back to the Future.
Biff.
No, it's just a fun movie. Yeah, second one's absolute trash, but I like the first one.
Those were done by Mick G, right?
Yeah.
If I remember correctly.
I believe so. Yeah, Mick G. Yeah, deep cut there. There you go.
Well, Mick G did Terminator 4. Very themed.
That's it, though. I mean, like Terminator, Charlie's Angels, and Supernatural. I honestly
really like The Babysitter. His movie with Samara Weaving, Netflix only film. It's kind of stupid. It's violent, over the top comedy, but it's very slickly produced. You can tell the guy made music videos for a long time.
Yeah.
It's a very good looking movie. It's glossy as hell.
That's how I feel about Michael. Wait, Michael. What the hell's wrong with me?
John Travolta?
No, Armageddon. What?
Oh, Michael Bay.
Yeah. Michael Bay. Yeah. What? Something's really wrong with my brain today. That's how I feel about Michael Bay. His stuff looks okay. It just doesn't have any substance. Oh, EAZ, Rambo 5. I think that's. Yep. Lindsey, you all right over there?
I might need to run in a second here. You guys can keep going, but I might need to.
Oh well, we
depart.
We shut it down. Yeah, dude, we're super long doing nothing.
For sure. Yeah, sorry.
No, it's fine.
We had a good thing going there. I wasn't trying to cut it off.
No, we're good. Hey guys, listen, we were shooting the shit. Doesn't matter. Next week, we'll be it heavy. Fuego, what do you got? Anything important this week?
So Cecil and I just did a review for the horror show of The Nightingale, which is the follow-up film from the Babadook director, Jennifer Kent. Or nice. It's either Jennifer Kent or Jessica Kent, something like that. Anyway, so that'll be going up on the horror show sometime this week. We also did trailer reactions to Dark Fate and a few other things. But in Fuegotainment, I'm about to put up my Don't Let Go review because I saw that this weekend, as I mentioned, and also most recent before that was the Peanut Butter Falcon, which also was referenced at one point in this video. So check those out, y'all. Much appreciated.
Forever ago, we talked about Peanut Butter Falcon. Yeah, wow.
And Emily and I replicated a scene from True Romance.
You with dreadlocks. I want to see it.
That is up. That is up on the channel right now. And this weekend we'll be doing the Skype call with patrons. So that's it here. And otherwise we'll see you Monday to talk about it and all the different choices and thoughts and all that jazz.
Wait, I just realized we haven't even said anything. Happy Labor Day.
Oh, yes. Happy Labor Day.
Happy Labor Day, folks. Just, throwing that out there.
I still had the labor today, but,
There
you go.
Happy Labor Day to those who are in labor. Also,
definitely them. Yeah, those poor women. Yeah, I hope you get through it okay, guys.
Thanks to everybody in the chat for keeping it popping. And Lindsey, feel better.
Yeah, no, I just gotta go make a quick run here. It's gonna be interesting.
I see.
Yeah.
All right, so we'll see you guys in a week.
All right.
Have a